Look, ever notice you've got a knack for picking the one person who won't pick you back? That's not bad luck. It's a pattern. You call it chemistry, but it's anxiety. You call it fate, but it's repetition. Bottom line, you're not falling for the person. You're falling for the hole they light up in you. And that hole was there long before they showed up. Let's cut to the chase. The issue isn't that you only meet the wrong people. You're mixing up chaos with love. Those butterflies you swear are passion? They're just your body reacting to uncertainty and rejection. You're not living an epic romance. You're dosing the same emotional drug that always wipes you out. And, yep, you're the one lining up for the next hit. Jung said it plainly, what you don't make conscious ends up running your life. If you don't know what you need, you'll chase whoever denies it. Hard truth. You're not stuck on her. You're stuck on self-betrayal. Until you face that, it's the same story with a different cast. So here's where this video comes in. We're gonna unpack why you keep falling for the wrong people and how to turn that toxic pull into sharp self-clarity. Because the real plot twist isn't when she changes. It's when you stop kidding yourself. Here's the thing. A lot of us mix up intensity with love. That instant hit, that almost irresistible chemistry, isn't fate. It's old wounds flaring up. Your brain slaps a passion label on it, but honestly, it's the same pattern on repeat. Same story, different cast. Now, that doesn't mean the universe is out to get you. What's really happening is your unconscious keeps staging reruns to try and resolve yesterday's pain. Because you don't catch it right away, it cues the same scenes, new faces, same script, until you finally see what's moving inside you. So in this video, we're gonna pull back the curtain on what powers those impossible crushes. Projection, the anima/animus dance, and the sneaky addiction to almost. Then we'll lay out a clear, doable path to healing. So you step out of the rinse and repeat and start choosing relationships that actually bring balance and clarity. Have you ever felt desire sweep through your body like a wildfire? Your mind gets hijacked by one person, and every text from them feels electric. Your body reacts before reason does. One look makes you restless. One touch lights a flame you didn't even know was there. You call it passion, but deep down you sense it's more than plain physical attraction. It's almost an obsession that takes over your thoughts. And here's where the truth starts poking at you. You don't fall for the person themselves, you fall for the part of you they wake up. It's like that intensity is the key to a room inside you that you locked years ago. If they're free, and you've always held yourself back, you feel this uncontrollable urge to breathe that freedom. If they're steady and you doubt yourself, the pull is magnetic. Desire doesn't spring from the other. It's born from what's missing in you. That's why the one who crosses your path is so often unavailable. Already taken, emotionally distant, or showing up at the worst time. It feels like the right person at the wrong time. But the point of that meeting isn't true love. It's a wake-up call. The impossible crush shows up to nudge your courage, your vulnerability, your lightness. Basically to show you how hungry you are for what you've been repressing. And maybe you've asked yourself, why do I think about this person so much when it makes zero sense? The answer is tough and freeing at the same time. What you want isn't in them. It's in you. The more you deny it, the faster your unconscious projects it onto the first face that shows up. And that's the risky little game where some of the most intense stories of your life begin. Ever notice how it's not someone's presence that hooks you? It's their absence? The space they leave behind cuts deeper than you expect, pressing on wounds much older than the relationship itself. When Jung described the shadow feminine, your unintegrated anima, he meant that hidden inner image you keep chasing. So instead of looking for a partner, you end up chasing a savior, hoping she'll patch an emotional hole that's been wide open since long before she arrived. But here's the trap. That chase never satisfies. You're not connecting with who she really is, you're stuck in a projection. It's a quiet addiction. The less she shows up, the louder your mind works. One drunk voice note at 2 a.m. suddenly feels like proof she still cares. Seeing read without a reply becomes a sign she's thinking about you. You even cancel plans with friends because there's a chance she might come through. None of this is real. It's just your craving turning absence into false hope. I've seen people swear they were in love, but when pressed, they couldn't describe the person. Only the ache she left behind. They knew the high of waiting for her to appear, but not her actual values, dreams, or flaws. That's how clever the mind is at creating emotional drugs. It takes scraps of attention and spins them into a full-blown romance that exists only in your head. The pain isn't in losing her, it's in losing the illusion you built. And here's the kicker. She doesn't wreck you with fights or fiery drama. She undoes you with silence. It's the gaps, the no-shows, the vague promises, the unsaid, that keep you hooked, crawling back for crumbs that reinforce the obsession. The way out isn't chasing harder. It's tracing this dependency back to its root, so you can finally see how it's tied to something much deeper than her. Real love doesn't keep you on high alert. Lock that in. If you've got to decode signals, deal with vanishing acts, and live on a tightrope, that's not love. That's anxiety wearing passion's mask. That explosive chemistry you call fate is just your body reacting to unpredictability. It isn't intensity, it's instability. And the cruel twist is you start building tolerance for the chaos. Truth is, your unconscious doesn't crave peace. It gravitates toward the pain it already knows. That's why complicated, off-limits, or distant people feel magnetic. You're not pulled in because they're extraordinary. You're pulled in because they echo an old wound. Every attempt feels like a rematch with your past. This time I'll fix it, but it never fixes. Same wound, new costume. Think about it. You wait hours for a drunk voice note at 2 a.m. and treat it like a declaration of love. You see, read with no reply and spin it into proof she's still thinking about you. You cancel plans with friends just in case she might show up, and when she doesn't, you tell yourself it's because she's confused, not disinterested. These scraps of inconsistency trick your brain into chasing harder. It's not love. It's conditioning. You're not attached to her, you're hooked on the whiplash. So here's the line you can't ignore. If the chemistry is intense but there's no peace, you're not in an epic romance. You're in a rerun. Calling that love is like calling a storm home. It's the replay of an old script, not a genuine connection. The real challenge is asking yourself, how long will you keep mistaking this cycle for passion instead of finally breaking free? Look, the danger was never her. The danger is when you sell yourself out. It's when you sideline your needs and your dignity just to squeeze into the storyline someone else is writing. You accept silence when you wanted a real conversation, crumbs when you were craving presence, and paper-thin excuses because you're scared of facing the void. That self-betrayal stings more than any rejection because, deep down, you know you're the one who walked out on you. So the question shouldn't be, why won't she choose me? But where am I selling myself short to stay in this plot? That flips everything. Once you notice your part in the loop, you see the pain isn't only about what the other person does. It's about what you allow. Bottom line, the game shifts from trying to manage someone else to finally taking yourself back. Jung put it plainly, what you don't make conscious runs your life. Translation, until you really know what you need, you'll keep chasing whoever denies it. If you don't own your hunger for closeness, you'll pick people who keep you starving. If you don't see yourself as worthy of full attention, you'll settle for folks who show up halfway. It's like living blindfolded and calling it fate, when honestly you're the one handing over the wheel. Here's the hard pill to swallow. A lot of the time, you're not hooked on the person, you're hooked on the habit of abandoning yourself. Her absence is just the stage. The script and the acting are yours. And until you catch that, you'll rerun the same story with different faces. The good news? There's a clean break point, and that's exactly where the real turn begins. The most urgent relationship in your life isn't with her or anyone out there. It's with you. Until you make peace with the parts you benched, your shadow, your disowned desires, your old hungers, you'll keep hunting in others what only you can give yourself. Here's the key. When you integrate, you stop depending. When you actually listen to yourself, you quit selling yourself out for crumbs. This is where a lot of folks go off the rails. They expect a relationship to show up as a patch. That's a trap, plain and simple. Love isn't a crutch, it's overflow. If you come in empty, you'll suck the oxygen out of the room. If you come in whole, you create a dance where each person adds without shrinking. And that wholeness, it doesn't come from hacks or magic formulas. It comes from the guts to face your inner holes without outsourcing the bill. Quick, practical move. Instead of waiting for that text that never lands, start writing to yourself. Sounds almost too simple, but put your needs, boundaries, and frustrations down on paper. It shows you, in black and white, exactly where you've been kidding yourself. Another powerful step is therapy or even a support group, because there you get real mirrors, not illusions. That's integration in action. Here's how the turn happens. Once you realize you don't need someone else to feel whole, your choices shift. What used to feel irresistible starts losing steam. You look at the disappear and reappear routine and say, yeah, that doesn't serve me. That's the moment obsession turns into freedom and need turns into clarity. And that awareness unlocks a new layer of challenge. One that goes straight to how you'll see love from here on out. Love isn't losing yourself in someone else's absence. It's finding yourself in your own presence. The slip-up happens when you mistake need for connection, when you swear those butterflies mean destiny, when, really, it's just your loneliness in disguise. What looked like a meeting was your need dressed up as romance. Those high-intensity stories that never quite land show up to remind you of something bigger. You weren't born to live on halves or crumbs. Life puts the unreachable in your path, so you finally learn, once and for all, not to abandon yourself. And once that lesson sinks in, your search changes big time. Because real love isn't a blaze that flares and dies. It's steady warmth that shows up every day. It doesn't keep you guessing, doesn't run on strategic silences, and never makes you beg for attention. The kind of love that's worth it doesn't shrink you, it expands you. If this video called out a pattern, drop one word that's been gripping you: absence, intensity, validation. I'll read everything and put together a practical 7-day protocol based on your comments. If this helped, like and subscribe. Around here, we trade addiction for real connection. And don't bounce yet. The next video on the end screen goes even deeper into this transformation.